At the start of each week, I really like to make a list for myself of exactly what I need to do, so I'm just outlining exactly all of my courses here. And then, as we can see here, I've kind of detailed each of the small little tasks that I have to do before each class, just to make sure that I can kind of mark things off and see my progress throughout the week, which is really huge for me. I try to do this every Sunday, but this week I did it on a Monday because it was after midterms and I needed a break. So then we moved on to our first class on Monday, which was over Zoom. We just have an evidence-based practice course, so I just get to zoom in from 10 until 12. Isn't too bad. It's really nice on Mondays because I get to have a little bit of that nice relaxed start to the week where we aren't too heavy on classes. So next, what I ended up doing was I took a little bit of a break since I didn't have too much homework to work on, and so I just played video games for a little bit, got to recuperate. You can't quite see it right now, but the main reason that I am doing the voiceover for the beginning of this is because I was sick. I definitely got a midterm cold after everything went through, so just having this chance to relax was good for me. But by the end of the night, after my Zoom classes, I just had the evidence-based practice and neuroscience. I was able to knock out quite a few things just by Monday. So it was really huge to be able to just kind of relax a little bit on my first day of the week. Now, normally on a Tuesday, what it would look like is in the mornings I would have online classes again, similar to Monday, and some asynchronous work, but this time around, just because of scheduling, we had a lab in the morning, so here I am walking over to class just to do some fundamentals of intervention. We learned about electrotherapy, some manual therapy, and then in the afternoon we did our first session of our new class called Motor Control and Motor Learning. So here I am afterwards, back at home, working on a few of my assignments that I still had left to do on my to-do list. Again, it was a longer day, so I wasn't as worried about getting as much done. However, it's always nice to, especially as my week starts to ramp up with courses on the second half of the week compared to the first half, getting lots of the bits and pieces done in the first half so that way I can really just engage in class and think about those things as it comes to the later half of the week. So just kept working through things here. I believe that I took a quiz and knocked it out of the way for my evidence-based practice that was going to be the next day. Now, today was going to be another one of those days where I have a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the afternoon. However, for the morning, we just had some of our movement science course and our evidence-based practice where we were doing lots of group work, just appraising different articles and working through those type of things together. So it's always an interesting class and definitely helps with some of those clinical skills. Then after those morning classes, I came back home and I went through our neuro Zoom class. So just kind of sitting through, listening and taking notes whenever possible. What I like to do is I have my iPad up, following along with the slides, making any notes that I can think of here and there that I'll want to remember from what they say specifically. That way I don't have to really dive back into the recordings too much if I missed something. And then I also do have on my other screen behind me the learning objectives for the course and just try and fill those out as I start to see the content covered. once class got out, I decided to go for a little bit of a walk since my friends and I are doing a little bit of a step competition, so I had to make sure that I was keeping up on the steps with them. Alright, and just like that, we walked a total of 3.15 miles in 47 minutes, keeping myself on pace with my friend with her step challenge and getting a little bit ahead. Now it's off to the store to grab some groceries. Thursday came with a nice surprise of a little bit of a snowstorm as I was walking out to class and just had a few classes in the afternoon that I had to go to for our motor control and motor learning. So as you can see, it was getting pretty wet. Sadly, not the official first snow for us, but still fun. So now I'm done with classes for the day, just got back. So time to do a little bit of cleaning around the house just to clean up since tomorrow I have a pretty easy day. So let's get to it. Once I finished up those chores, I took a look at my to-do list to see what I had for tomorrow, and almost everything was done. The only thing that I really had to prepare for was the quiz, working on my workbook, and working on the learning objectives just to make sure I was feeling fully prepared since it was open note. So just those final bits of prep. And then I ended the night just working on a little bit of Duolingo, keeping up with my Spanish and using that 2 times experience that you get at the end of each day for the early bird bonus. And of course, to start off my Friday, I also did my Duolingo, making sure to keep up on that streak, something that I've been trying to get back into, just so that I can be stronger in my Spanish. So you'll probably see this pop up occasionally, just to show you that I'm still doing it. But as you can see here, we made it to our 21-day streak, and we're gonna keep at it and keep updating you guys with it. So once we were done with that, started working on a little bit more of my neuroscience learning objectives and working on the workbook to make sure that I felt that I had the complete context that I needed going into my quiz, and also just as a good review so that I could draw from my memory as many of the answers as possible before checking my work on the second way through. So just worked on this for a few hours, just because I knew that I had a meeting coming up in a short while. Then I ended up having a short advisors meeting. Haven't gotten to talk to my advisor too much outside of the first few weeks of school, so it was good to kind of update them on how I'm doing, catching up with my goals and aspirations, and just kind of being accountable with someone and setting goals for the next year or so as I continue to go through the program. Alright, so we just got back from a little run. Overall, went pretty well. We ran our new personal record, at least on my Garmin watch, for a 5K, which was about 22 minutes on the dot, so very good run. Now, gotta get back to doing a little bit of studying for neuroscience, and then I'll take my quiz later today. Well, that's all that I have for this week. As you can probably tell, my voice is finally back, and I hope that you started to enjoy a bit more of me actually talking during the clips rather than just doing the voiceover. There will probably be a mix of that throughout the videos to come, but with this being my first video, I hope that you all enjoyed. If you have any suggestions for things you want to see more of, things you want to see less of, anything that's constructive that can help me make this an enjoyable experience for you, while also hopefully being as realistic as possible to portray the life of a DPT student. I look forward to hearing what you all have, and I'm excited to show you what's going on next week. It should be a bit of a lighter week, so maybe we'll be able to see a bit more of activities and relaxation during DPT school when you are able to get ahead on things. So this has been KBDPT, and I'll see you guys next week.